G'day, this is Captain Noob and it's Nerf or Nothing. This is Steampunk Weaponry, a weapon mod that adds two weapons of the steampunk aesthetic into the game. One of them is a big old 20mm rifle, which is what you're looking at now. This one is a Nerf rough cut. It's literally a Nerf rough cut. Look at this. While we're on the topic of porting Nerf guns into Fallout 4, why would you put a rough cut into Fallout 4 when you could put something like a fucking long shot into it? It's Nerf or Nothing, motherfucker! So getting into the customization of the Venturi rifle here, you can have a single barrel, a short one of those, which will reduce your range but increase or decrease the weight of this. So if you're playing on survival mode and you can't really spare the weight, then that's a nice idea to keep that weight ever so slightly down. And a double barrel will increase your damage. I'd imagine that's like the two-shot effect since it's firing two at once. This thing has assault rifle animations. We'll see this a little bit later, but for the most part, this thing is very, very shiny. Some people have a problem with that. I think it looks kind of neat. There's not enough shininess in this game. Also, you've got the choice between a standard sight there, that's just an assault rifle 4 sight there, so that's kind of cool. And you can also chuck on a long scope. I'll leave off the long scope for now. That definitely looks kind of cool, doesn't it? And a legendary effect is there if you need it. As for the rough cut over here, it's got a couple of different things going on. So you can have a advanced automatic receiver, auto receiver, and yes, a Moxie variant of those. So if you're into Borderlands, then that's very cool. Go for an automatic Moxie receiver on that, and for the grip, we'll match it up with a recoil grip of the Moxie variety. I really like the textures on this, by the way. It looks kind of genuine to what a Moxie Shotgun would look like if it was a Nerf gun. Going back into it, you can also chuck in a big magazine if you feel like it, which is strange because the rough cut is like a front-loading thing. Holy crap, that's a lot of magazines onto it. So that gives us 15 times ammo capacity. You can have one of those magazines if you want, or just a small one in there if you don't like the look and feel of a giant banana looking thing popping out of your rough cut. But I'm going for performance, damn it, and more ammo capacity means better. There's also steampunk variants of those too, which is kind of cool. Triple magazine. I'm only counting 2. Anyways, so that is our customization. Legendary effect is there if you need it too. These things do run on ammos that are not in the vanilla game, which can be crafted. And a chemistry workstation. If we go into steampunk weapons, you can create the ammos, which requires that. And for the shotgun ammo, it's just 10 shells and a steel, and that'll give you 10 for 10 shells in return. And you can create the rifle. Obviously, you need the assault rifle parts for it. But the shotgun is more of a freebie. You need a combat shotgun though, so I've actually got one of those in my inventory. So not much of a freebie. You have to get a little bit of weapons before you can convert them into these things. But yeah, that's basically it. Let's go ahead and get into some gameplay. Alrighty, so here we are in Gunner's Plaza with our steampunk weaponry. This is our 20mm rifle. Looks pretty good. I do like the assault rifle sight on it. Makes it look kind of nice. It actually does suit the aesthetic of a steampunk weapon. And that's the size of it, by the way. This is a big thing, but despite its size, it actually doesn't clip with you. So yeah, that's actually formed around the player character really well. There's no really glaring clipping issues, which is pretty good. Except for when you put the weapon down. We'll just ignore that. And this is our Moxie Shotgun. I believe this one uses combat rifle animations, which means the fingers are going to be right over the barrels. You better pull your fingers out of that. That's a good way to lose your fingers. And there's a close look at the Moxie paint on job on that too. There's a little bit more. I'll go on with that later. But for now, we'll start off by shooting people with our steampunk 20mm rifle. You'll probably notice that this thing has a really cool sounding firing sound, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure how that works in real life. I guess it's not fired by gunpowder. Gunpowder doesn't throw the projectile out of the barrel. There might be something else there. Annoying hitboxes. Ignoring those, we can get started on these gunners. As you can tell, this thing does a whole lot of damage. We only need a couple of shots to kill these guys. And the advantage of having the assault rifles that you've just seen there is this thing's got a blazing fast reload, so you can actually, spam fire this thing pretty easily. You don't have to worry about conserving ammo for this at all because you just don't have to. You can just fire, and as soon as you're done, you can chuck a new mag in at the blink of an eye, and you'll be okay. So we'll quickly kill whatever gun is in here. It is a legendary. Getting those headshots is pretty good. I do believe that just giving you the 2-shot effect, having the double barrel on. Next up is Moxie Shotgun in all its glory. Also, it's got 96 rounds in it. Let's chuck on something a little bit less normal, a little bit context sensitive. So let me hit the hotkeys here. We'll slowly transform into Moxie herself, or all at once, because the game sort of lagged a bit. Ah, hello, other me. let me show you the Moxie need. You can tell that I'm the real one because I'm wearing something different this time. That's how they tell them apart in cartoons or something. When there's usually a double, there's always some stupid cliche that happens. So hopefully Captain Bridget's damage over time from her pistol doesn't really affect us. That's 2 shots. 3 shots should have gotten us. I might have to pop a Steampunk as soon as we're out of this VATS run here. I think I've screwed myself over with the amount of VATS I did with this thing, because she got too many shots in. We'll have to do a Steampunk there. Don't usually like doing that, but it was kind of necessary, otherwise I would have been dead. I got fucked over by Bethesda's mechanics in general. So this is the shotgun's performance, by the way. It doesn't sound particularly great either, to be honest. But we've got plenty of rounds in our magazine. We'll just keep on firing. We just keep on going. If you're a big fan of the numbers 2 or 3, you're probably having the best video of your life right now. And there's that reload animation. See? Combat rifle. Which is odd because it was always a muzzle loading blaster. I'm gonna die again. This is why I usually confiscate Bridget's gun off her, because that can cause a lot of damage to me. Okay, I'll grab it this time. If you were watching the health bar there, I think Curie's healing perk just popped in for like a split second there. So thanks, Curie, for saving my ass there. It didn't stop me from killing her from being a dirty synth though. Don't get that idea. Alright, so honestly this shotgun is coming up a bit lacking. The fact that you don't heal yourself by shooting people with it also makes it kind of suck, because it's kind of what Moxie weapons are for. Maybe if the model was to make the Moxie weapon a unique version of the rough cut shotgun, I reckon you could have an extra healing one here. It's got that bad touch paint job on it, doesn't it? It looks really, really good though. But looks aren't everything, as you can tell. If the weapon is certainly not performing as well as our 20mm rifle there. We'll kill this one. We'll switch back to our rifle after this. Alright. Let's go back to our rifle after the game loads it in. Having a little bit of problems with loading still. I disabled Tales of the Commonwealth because apparently that's causing problems for other people, but I haven't really had that problem at all. That hasn't really fixed it at all. There's still a little bit, but yep, there you go. Captain Moxie has done pretty well. Also, there's physics in this as well. And if you'd like to see this particular outfit in your game, I'll chuck it in. It's not actually part of this mod, but I saw it and I thought that was a thing that I needed. The physics is really bugging out right now. Alrighty, loadout changes as follows. I've added a long scope to this and added the instigating legendary effect, and I've added the explosive legendary effect to our Moxie rough cut looking thing. So we're going to start off with hopefully the bear, just to see how good we can go with him. Ah, there he is. Also, the Moxie outfit has a bit of a problem with it. You can see it in first person when you crouch sometimes. Ooh, that legendary not legendary effect. The sniper's effect is going to be very, very useful for this invader, so that actually might come in handy with the explosive shotgun that we do have now. But whilst we've got a long scope and we can scope into these guys, we might as well kill a few more gunners by sniping at them from back here, which is useful. I don't think we're doing a whole lot of damage, but we're still ragdolling those guys with sniper rank number 2. So that's pretty useful. I think we're on the very edge of this thing's effective range here. I'm hitting those guys for 46. Man, okay, I need to creep in just ever so slightly. It's kind of weird how you lose so much damage over range with a weapon that is supposed to be run with a long scope too. I feel like the range on this could be altered for at least buffed, because it's not easy. I mean, it should be easy to snipe with this thing, especially when you've got it outfitted with a long scope. Okay, so Gerald's over there. Let's just ignore those guys. We'll just let Gerald do his thing and take out the rest of them. In the meantime, we'll take out these raider dudes. Or dudette in that case. That was clearly a female raider. They're discount reigns, honestly. Get out of here. So the hip fire on this thing doesn't seem to be too bad despite being a big old rifle, so that's alright. Wow, you're actually running away. Yeah, sometimes these raiders have cowardly AI too, so that's kind of interesting. Of course Moxie's still alive. She hasn't been killed off yet, like Scooter was. Whoops, spoiler alert for a game that is several years old at this point. Alrighty, let's go ahead and switch to our Moxie Shotgun. Wherever it may be. Sometimes it takes a bit to load. Just gonna let the game load after itself. We'll switch into third person so we can get the Moxie experience, I guess. And now we're going to be shooting guys with the explosive legendary effect. We're just going to be sniping people with it. So yes, I noticed, you probably noticed too, that the pellet counter of this thing was extremely high. It was spraying our screens with number 2s and 3s before. And that lends itself very well to the explosive legendary effect, because that just means you're going to be, you know, stacking heaps and heaps of explosive damage with that, all of the pellets that you throw around. Hopefully to not a frame rate unstabling number of explosions or something, or God forbid game unstabling number, but I think we'll be okay. I can't crit that guy, I'm just going to fire his general direction. Gets him anyway. Now I can one-shot people and snipe just as effectively with a shotgun as I could with other things. And ragdoll people in the air too. Try to get them on the way down. Yeah, okay. I think I hit the overpowered button on this thing, didn't I? But at least I'm getting some use out of it. Maybe, I don't know, to balance this thing out, maybe increase the power just a little bit. Maybe you don't have to increase the power, just give you the Moxie healing effect, so you get a little bit more staying power in a straight firefight where enemies can kick your ass, which is basically mod enemies, so yeah. Maybe if you're low level, you're kind of struggling against some high level enemies, maybe you wandered down to a place that was too high level for you, you can use Moxie Shotgun to just heal yourself off whilst you're fighting. Something like that. I don't know, I feel like it's a cool idea to have that just as a unique weapon, so you can technically say, I've got 3 standalone weapons in this mod, and I'd buy it. Alright, let's get this guy knocked down with the sniper, like so. And then when he's down, we'll ragdoll him around. Just spam the trigger. Keep ragdolling him with the explosive legendary effect, which is completely just ruined my sound. And I believe if he's ragdolled with the explosive legendary effect, he's in the air, he can't actually reset out of his position where he is unragdoll, so he can't actually get back up. So yeah, these weapons more and more they're complementing each other, which is actually kind of neat. There might be more weapons added later to this mod. There's definitely going to be more stuff and their parasite coming out of this mod over at the comments, but yeah, all in all, this is a pretty solid thing. I'm actually still wondering where you got the 3D model of the rough cut to spruce up and change into a Moxie weapon. And yeah, also add long shots into the game, please. Give me a steampunk long shot and I'll give you a modern endorsement. Okay, so I think that is enough for this thing and the other thing. But if you'd like to see this thing and this outfit in your game, I'll be leaving a link in the description for both of these, so be sure to check those out if you feel like it. And I think that is about enough for me. Look at that lens there. Oh, that actually distorts vision around. Wow, I didn't actually think they'd have some sort of lens there. That's so cool. It's even more visual effects for you to gawk at. Isn't that nice? Thank you for watching, guys.